Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Hugh, this is Charlie and Brayden, and we're going to be covering Ellie today and her lesson plan. Take it away, Charlie.
Yeah, hey guys. I'm going to focus on integration of theory, and I believe that in the first part of her lesson, she introduced it very well, and on her lesson plan as well, she put on scaffolding, which I think is a big positive thing to do within your lesson, especially the introduction. According to Sanders, applying scaffolding assists the students to internalize the content and understand this. So I think in my lessons, I always make sure scaffolding's at the forefront. I put it at the start. What do you guys think about that?
Definitely, yeah, you need to be very considerate of scaffolding and also like ensuring that the students have a key level of understanding before you proceed.
Okay, good. Yeah, and on top of that, I think she could have done a little bit better. Could have integrated socio-cultural learning theory when you work within groups and with partners, because on her lesson plan, she's only said that you can work in pairs or individual, but there wasn't much emphasis on a group kind of situation. So I think she could have done that a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the integration of groups and pairs would have been, or there was pairs, but more groups and not focusing on individuals would have been better, just for more collaborative learning and like higher order thinking.
Okay, yeah.
So Ellie has done several good parts of her lesson. Her lesson plan has been really good. It has high levels of detail. It explicitly connects with the curriculum, and she establishes a quality lesson that engages higher order thinking and creativity with students. So the research argues that promoting teaching higher order thinking in classrooms is critical to getting students to think critically, logically, reflectively, and creatively, and also have deeper engagement with the task and demonstrate their understanding through creative solutions. And I feel in this regard, she's developed quite an excellent lesson. What do you guys believe?
I think the higher order thinking can be improved on. I think the lesson overall is quite well, but she needs to integrate the groups into her lesson to get the higher order thinking spot on, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And even before that as well, one of the key points that her supervising teacher made was that she needs to model more clear examples as well at the start in order to ensure students have that base level understanding. And yeah, I agree with this because in line with the work of Brooker, when developing students' understanding of things such as area, rather than just having meaningless formulas or hanging up charts, you need to develop an understanding of common geometric shapes. So if she was to give them a more interactive example of looking at squares and triangles and working out the area for this, and not just relying on a couple of students, but ensuring the whole class has a shared level of understanding, I feel like that would increase the task really well and develop a higher level of understanding. So Brayden, I think you had a point to discuss on this as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think the effective communication is a massive part of the Australian professional standard for teachers, and also the quality teaching framework with all the industry expectations. And I think to ensure an effective lesson, you have to have really good communication within the lesson and engagement of all the students to make sure they are, doing what they're doing. So her lesson plan overall is quite good and solid, but the quality teaching framework, when you integrate that into it, the engagement is not really there with the students because there's just not enough higher expectations of the students.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like that, she could be a lot more inclusive of students because she just seems to almost be stringing them along really. And I feel like she could have a lot higher student participation to ensure that they do actually understand what they're learning.
Yeah, look, I actually disagree with that. I reckon she did well in terms of what her lesson was made to do. She was giving them the resources and then they had to go and do it. I think in that regard, she's given them the plan and how to do it with Polly's problem solving. And she's kind of said, there you go, now you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, totally fair enough, yeah. The main part for me was when the supervising teacher at the end said, will we accept 144 times 2 in referring to the question, just saying that there needs a higher expectation of the students because they weren't really set out to do the task at hand. They were lost. They didn't know what they were doing is my thought process on it.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Australian professional standards for the teachers, the three main domains are the professional knowledge, professional practice, and professional engagement. And we don't really know much about the overall background story behind the lesson. We just know what the lesson plan and how she did it. We didn't get to see the actual full part of the lesson. We only got to see the introduction. So I can't determine how well she did, how well the students did, and how well she did helping them. But it's not enough proof for me to show that she did an effective lesson plan throughout the whole thing, because the engagement wasn't there at the start, and the whole lesson plan, like in the main part of it, I just didn't get to see it, and I'm just not sure what she implemented it well.
Yeah.
All right.